this is Victoria. Welcome back to my channel for another video. You know what happened to me? I already shooted this whole video. I spoke for about, 20 minutes. I was showing everything and then it turned out the camera turned itself off. So I have no footage whatsoever. Even though my voice is going away, so I don't know how I'm gonna pull off this one to talk about everything once more, but we will have to reshoot this whole video, so bear with me. I went to the bulk store, one of my favorites. It's called Der Kreisler here in Vienna, where I purchased some pantry items, especially spices, which I was out of or I'm shortly running out of. And I decided to share with you my experience, to share with you the prices of the items that I got, what did I get for how much did I spend, and how does it compare to a supermarket if you want to purchase these items. So for those of you who don't know, a bulk store or unpackaged store is a supermarket kind of, where you can buy pantry items, fruits and vegetables, spices, even deli items. Anything really which you can buy in a supermarket, you can buy there, but without packaging or with more sustainable versions of packaging. You can also buy cleaning products and zero waste replacements of certain everyday items like toothbrush. I this time needed to refill some of the things from my pantry and my spice cabinet, so this is why I went. I had a list and I got almost everything that I wanted. As I mentioned, I went to Der Kreisler, which is one of the bulk stores here in Vienna, which is closest to me. There is another one with the same name, and there are multiple other kinds of unpackaged bulk stores here in the city. I recommend you to just Google Unverpacktladen or zero waste stores in Vienna, and they will all pop up. There is quite a few of them. Some of them, they are coming and going. I had one which is very, very close to me. I went there only once, and the next time when I wanted to go there, it didn't exist anymore, unfortunately, so I guess it's not so easy to keep them alive. As you will see, the prices are most of the time a little bit higher than what you would pay for the same thing, the same amount in a supermarket. However, for example, for me as a one-person household, it makes actually quite a lot of sense to purchase in these kind of stores, because then I don't have to buy a whole bag, a whole big package of something that I would need just a small tiny amount of, for example from tea that I would like to try, or spices that some recipes might require some special spice that you don't usually have at home. You can go to these kind of stores and then just purchase that small amount, and then you don't have spices lying around at home that you never use, which you purchase for just one recipe. Before I show you what I got from the bulk store, let me show you some clips from the store itself. As I mentioned, the store is called the Kreisler, and I've been in the one which is in the 5th district. It's quite close to Naschmarkt, if you are familiar here or if you live in that area. And yeah, I just have some clips, and you will also see how this whole thing works if you don't know yet. So you go in, you weigh the jars that you brought with yourself, or actually they have jars available there that you can take for free. They are jars that people brought there that they didn't need anymore. I also have actually quite a lot of jars at home that I could bring there because I accumulate them and there is no way using all of them over and over again. But they have some available, so you can go there without actually bringing your own stuff. You weigh it, you write the weight of the jar, then you refill the jar, and at checkout they will just weigh the whole thing and discount or deduct the weight of the jar itself from the weight of the whole product, of course. Yeah, let's see what I got today, and I will share with you. I have also the receipt, so I will share with you how much I paid for each of these. So all of these I had on my list, except for the risotto rice. I never purchased risotto rice in a bulk store before, but since it was there, I figured, well, let's give it a try, and I had the available jar for it. So I paid for a little bit over 400 grams of risotto. I paid €3.26, which I guess is actually not more expensive than buying the same amount of risotto rice in Dance, where I usually purchase it, or before I used to purchase it in a plastic packaging. I think there I would pay around the same, maybe a little bit less for 500 grams. I'm not sure about this one, but yeah. Risotto rice. Then I have purchased also jasmine rice. I wanted to buy actually brown rice, but they didn't have, but they had other multiple types of rices available, so I decided to go with the jasmine rice because this is actually my favorite type of rice, but I try to eat as healthy as possible, so I eat most of the time brown rice. This time I got the jasmine rice, a little bit over 500 grams for €4.02. Just as a comparison, currently there is a sale in Billa for the Uncle Ben's rice, the big XXL packaging, which is a 1 kilo. If you buy 2 of the 1 kilo rice, then you get each of the bags, paper bags, for €2.49. So for €5 you would get 2 kilos of rice. This was a little bit over 500 grams and it's €4, so obviously it is more expensive to purchase this rice than the Uncle Ben's one, but this is not from a huge multinational company which transports their product all over the world, but it's from probably a rather small independent bio provider. So, you know, if you can afford and willing to pay more for something which is expected to be a better quality and also better for the planet, then this is an option. I got some green tea. This is 70 grams of sencha, bio sencha tea, and this cost €6.70. As I was looking around, they have a huge selection of teas, and most of them were between 7 to 10 euros for 100 grams. So, you know, if you want to try different kinds of tea types without buying so much of it, you can also try them in these stores, just to buy this much or as much as you really want. You can really just buy a tiny amount to try things out. And that is especially good with spices, as I mentioned, but also works with tea. Then I got nutmeg. I got just one big piece of nutmeg, and I paid for 10 grams of nutmeg 90 cents, and this is gonna be probably enough for me for the next year. I also got some rosemary, and with the rosemary I'm just gonna refill my original rosemary bottle. It still has a little bit on the bottom. So how I'm gonna refill it, I'm gonna take the small amount from here out. I'm gonna refill this jar with the new rosemary, and I'm gonna put this small amount back on the top. So that is the one that I use up first. And for the rosemary I paid €1.26 for 14 grams, and the rosemary was €9 for 100 grams. And I got this much for €1.26. I also got thyme. I already refilled the original thyme jar because it was already empty, so I just brought this one. So, how much was the thyme? The thyme is 12 grams and it's €1.08. So I could refill this whole jar. I think this is a pretty good price for bio thyme because I could refill the whole jar, and this jar would probably cost me around €2 to buy again with the bio thyme, and this time I refilled the whole thing and it cost me €1, so maybe this was cheaper than it would have been in a supermarket. So some things might actually be cheaper. I also got some basil. I just put it in a random jar. I purchased 16 grams of basil and it was 3 euros 20 cents. So you can see that the basil is more expensive than the thyme. Yeah, and then I also got some Italian sea salt. These are like the big crystals of salt which you can refill in this salt grinder that I have. And this is 200 grams of sea salt for only 32 cents. That's a pretty good price, I believe, but I very rarely purchase salt because they last me a long time, and especially in a supermarket I don't really buy salt, so I don't really know how much it costs, but it sounds to me that this was worth it for 32 cents, euro cents. Then I also got some turmeric. This is 32 grams of turmeric and I paid 1 euro 28 cents for it. So I'm gonna refill this original jar of turmeric with this one. And this was 75 grams when I first bought it, the content of this. So this is a little bit less than half of what was inside originally for 1 euro 28 cents, and a jar of this turmeric in Interspar or Spar, Eurospar here in Austria, in Vienna, are around 4 euros, I believe. And finally, I wanted to buy some nutritional yeast in bulk in one of the stores, one of the bulk stores here in Vienna. It's available. I purchased it before, but here I couldn't find it. However, I could find it in paper packaging. I don't know how it is inside. I think it's inside. There is another paper pouch in which it is in. And this brand Rapunzel is a German brand, so I decided that I'm gonna go with this one, and this cost me 5 euros 40 cents. So guys, thank you for tagging along today with this video. I hope you liked it. I hope it was interesting and you learned something new. For those who live in Vienna especially, I hope that I raise your interest and you are going to visit one of these stores to explore and maybe, you know, build it in your routine to purchase some staples or even your fruits and vegetables from these stores. And I will see you at my next video, and until then, don't forget to press the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you at my next video. Bye!